Have a seat. Jose, we're going to ask you a series of questions. You know, there's going to be times when we're sitting here taking notes and writing, so we might not have that eye-to-eye contact. It's not meant as any disrespect. We're just trying to capture everything that you say so that we can evaluate all candidates fairly. So, want to do the same order again?
Mm-hmm. Is that okay?
You want to sneeze first?
Sounds good.
I was actually
Oh, looked like a sneeze coming.
reading it. Although we have your background materials in front of us, would you please begin by briefly reviewing your professional career path and describe for us how your experience and skills complement the township supervisor position?
I have experience working with the private sector and the public sector. I work in the Department of Health and Human Services. I have my own business as a small business owner. I work with investors. I got a point for World Medical Relief, which is one of the largest international organizations. I work with different mayors, governors, and county executives for different countries. And I involved in purchasing and making decisions. As a 9 years experience as a township trustee, I have been making a lot of decisions with all of you. And the outcome of that is we see how people appreciate us. And the last election, as you see, all of us got reelected, and it's a reason. It's a reason because we have experience, we make good decisions, and Independence Township is one of the best townships in Oakland County.
Based on your research and understanding of the township, what do you believe are the most important opportunities and challenges for the township, and how would you approach these?
First of all, it's very important to have data, information. I think it's key that the supervisor have to talk to every single director to be able to get the right data, to have the right decision. We have challenges all the time. For instance, when we have hit by COVID-19, it surprised everybody, not just in Independence Township, but around the world. And different townships have different approaches. And I think the approach, how we done it through Parks and Rec was very important because they brought a sense of community. What it was we identified how many senior citizens we have in Independence Township. We follow up making phone calls, make sure they were okay, if they need some medicines, if they need clothes, if they need any type of food or anything. We have our employees that help out and verify that. And it's important to have that data because through that data, we're able to identify who is in needs to be able to help during those critical times. There's one example of many we've done. But I think it's very important before we make a decision to have the right data. I'll give you an example. I think what happened right now currently we see of President Biden. Biden have this information from the CIA, from the Department of State and all that, and he ignored this data and he made a bold decision, but we see now the consequences. So it's very important to read, to understand and get the right data before we make any decision. And I made sure that we will have the right data information and willing to work with the two full-time officials to be able to make a right decision for it.
How would you describe your management and leadership style? Please identify both your strengths and your weaknesses and how that relates to your approach to management and leadership.
Sure. I look always into details. I like to read a lot, and I actually, when I come to the board, I don't know if you know, but I like to make phone calls with every single director. I want to make, besides I read, I like to know from them, asking questions to them to get as much information I can before I make a decision. And I think my strength is that I always like to follow up and make sure I understand 100% about the issue before I make any decision. And I think my weakness is like, sometimes I put, I guess, too much time. People tell me, Jose, you put in too much time. I mean, sometimes I like to work extra hours to make sure that things get done. And I think probably it's something I need to change sometimes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If appointed as a township supervisor, please tell us how you would approach building trust and respect of the employees, the appointed officials, and the community.
Sure. I have been working with all of you for 9 years, and as you know, respect is very important for me. I know how to address with a lot of respect for all of you, whether we agree or disagree. I always keep respect. For instance, and I think a couple of minutes ago, Ron, you brought an important issue, and I disagree with you at that time. But since you bring me more data about that I said Ron is right. I think he make a good point. And I decided to, I support your idea because I saw that you were right. So I always like to listen. I understand the other side of the story to be able to make a decision. And it's part of my character, and it's part of respect of my colleagues, and I'm willing to keep doing this. And I mean, it's sometimes we see people making nice speeches of that, but I know by example that that I keep a good respect for all of you and every single citizen. To finish, whether it's election season or not, I always walk in the neighborhood, knocking so many doors, because I want to find out what's going on for firsthand and get to know some of the important issues that matter for people. And I'm not doing this because it's election season. I'm doing this because I care. I have the passion and determination for my community. Thank you, ma'am.
Please describe a situation when you have disagreed with a governing board and/or supervisor. How did you approach that difference of opinion and explain the final result of the situation?
I believe I already answered that question, but I will repeat it. But thank you for that question. On many occasions, like I mentioned before, I spoke with Ron brought a very important issue that he, at that time, he says that we should disclose the names of the candidates. At the beginning, I says, well, I don't think so. We should change the process. But at the day, Ron explained really well what it's about, what the intentions are with the changing that, and end up agreeing with Ron because I think Ron make a very clear point. So depends what the issue are. This is a specific issue that happened. I'm willing to actually I don't have that mindset that says I'm always right. I like to listen because whatever decision we make is not for this house and next house. No, we make a decision for the whole community. And the sense of community is very important to me. That's why I put it aside if I have a difference with someone. The most important thing for me is our community.
Please describe your skills in the area of fiscal stewardship.
Supervisor, when we got elected in 2012, I do remember that during that time, I remember just we got elected. The first time we saw was I got appointed as a liaison for the TV, Independence Township Television. And that was a very critical time because the first page of Clarkston News says Independence Township have the worst township television in the whole state of Michigan. Then I asked you, I just got elected. I said, Pat, who is the chair for that committee? And you told me, you, Jose, you are the chair of the Independence Township Television. I said, oh, wow, we need to do something about it. So I remember you were very, very, you cared about that, Pat. I remember we see it. We put together a good community, people that knows what they're talking about. That I think is very important to get the right people, to get the right advice. And we decide to actually move the TV station from it was right here, maybe move it to the schools. Because at that time, the schools, they didn't have the budget, they didn't have the latest equipment of TV. And that was really sad because they have a lot of kids, around 200 kids that want to learn how to broadcast, how to do a TV show. And we have the equipment, but we didn't have anybody utilizing those equipment. So what we did is we moved that to the school and we saved close to $30,000 a year by doing that. And we become more efficient because we have 200 kids utilizing those equipments now, learning how to broadcast, how to do TV. And I believe I hear a lot of successful stories after that. Then a lot of kids got hired for major TV channels. And somebody I remember went to California as well. So what we did is we spend less money and we become more efficient. And I think that type of ideas will keep applying for a township.
The township has a dedicated and effective staff. Please describe the process you would use to retain them, recruit, and select talented individuals to work for the township.
I think, actually, the way how you guys handle it is very effective, meaning some of the directors, as you know, it's very competitive, the market right now, because a lot of the directors actually have been moving to different cities like Rochester because they pay a lot more than us. So that was the main reason we raised some of the salaries for our directors. And we have very good directors. And the process how we did it the process how we has been conducted, I think, is very effective because we have a great directors. I want to keep them. And then, as far as I know, Supervisor Kittle says we're looking to see if we're going to raise some of the salaries, some of the people, comparing data with other communities. So we need to make sure we are in according to everybody in Oakland County, or make sure our budget allowed to do that. I think we shouldn't be making any decision without knowing the right data and compare with Orion, Oxford, and other townships to see where we at the other directors and compare that. But some of the things that we need to realize also is we have been increasing in population. That means we need to take care of, maybe look at how well our services are done. So far, are doing well, but our population have been increasing.
Thank you.
Collaboration is important to the township. Please describe how you would professionally collaborate with organizations that are part of the township as well as other municipalities.
You see, part of I've done it in the last 9 years is I like to approach people always but I think I want to be my office available to everybody. I think the Michigan Times is a great resource that Supervisor Kittle put in place to public update for everybody through the custom news, social media, and let them know what's going on. And then, I mean, I'm part of a lot of organizations currently. Every weekend I meet with several people through church or some other groups. And I think our communication to the groups, during utilizing that custom news or website, putting updates up there is very important. I want to keep doing that. If we can improve something, we do. In the past, I think, and what great resources, maybe get information from NTA. Always when I need to know something or clarify something, NTA will give me more information about what other communities are doing similar to us that benefit them. So I always welcome to new ideas and to utilize and put it in place according to our reality.
What do you consider essential in the relationship between a township supervisor and the Board of Trustees, and how will you facilitate a productive relationship with the board?
Well, you know, when you're starting a job or when you're a part of a board, a team, trust is very important. And I want to make sure that we have my office available for you and build more our trust between myself and the two full-time elected officials and the trustee. And I think that will be a good beginning for myself with all of you.
Some say we have traffic problems. What do you think? How would you mitigate these concerns or change the situation?
That's right, Pat. It's true. Just this weekend, I saw the concerts of DTE, how the traffic are really bad. Far as I know, for the data I have right now, I mean, it's some solutions that we'll look into. At the last meeting, I saw one of the initiatives that you brought about making probably if we can put another exit down on Clintonville. And that's probably an idea that can work out, but probably we need to get more data. Before I think we make any move or any good decision, we have to make sure that we have enough data about the traffic, get the right consultants, get a legal opinion, and make sure that that's doable. But we need to do something about it for sure. And I think that can be one possibility. But it's other areas as well. I need to look at it and get the right. I mean, I always like to get the data before I make any decision, but it's a good possibility. Also, on Walden and Clintonville Road to make the round. I think it's a good idea as well to be able to lower the density for DTE. I think that will help us out as well. Besides the new enter or exit from I-75 on Clintonville Road. There's a couple ideas that we have. I'm pretty sure that I think at this point, Pat, I would like to have a special committee with people that knows what they're talking about, get with the county, and be able to get other solutions that usually I like to spend less money and get more service for it. And I think it's the philosophy of this board, and I think that is what I'm looking for.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you feel is more important for our township right now? Building new homes and commercial space, or rehabbing, expanding, and better utilizing our existing homes and businesses? I
think it was very important what we done. I think the planning commission has been done a great job bringing more homes because that brings a tax revenue for us. But I believe, as we saw the last data, we grow. We have more population having increased, and I think we need more parks, more green areas as well. I believe the idea that, or Director of Park and Recreation, Derek, that we need to get Water Lake, the property, that we intend to purchase a property before to become a park, but the owner decided not to sell this piece of property to us because she saw that she wants to work with a developer. It seems like it didn't work out, and I believe we need to reach out again, try to see if she want to work with us. So because maybe that's a possibility right there. But also, on Riley Lake, it's a big property as well. I was talking with Derek just the other day. There's a possibility that we can buy it as well and maybe become Independence Township parks. Because I believe we need a new park since we increased. And I think that that's something I will looking into.
What system do you utilize for assuring that you always follow up in a timely manner with questions and requests raised by residents, board members, or others?
Trustee Richie, I believe that I will have the right people. I will make sure they got the right stuff. You see, technology is very important those days. Back in the day, I remember my father was the commander of the FBI in Peru. And he always take notes and all that to make sure now in this time, I will work always with Outlook. I always open my computer, have everything. So I will look at it every day, my appointments. I always like to organize it myself, how I'm gonna follow up things. I will have the right staff working with me as well to follow up with all of you. I will always use my sticky notes as well, different colors mean different things. I'll be very organized very much to work with all of you.
What do you feel is your greatest weakness? How will it hinder you as a township supervisor?
My greatest weakness, Trustee Lackering, is that, you see, I have a lot of passion for that community. I love helping people. It's myself. It's who I am. I mean, I always, no matter what, it's election season, like I said, I like to knocking on doors, get to know people. If they have a problem, I like to take a note and follow up and helping people. To me, is the most important thing of this job, helping people, provide the best services for the people. You see, I think we don't want Independence Township to become any other township. We want to be the best township in the state of Michigan.
Okay.
If you received a $1 million grant to use towards the township in any way you wanted, what would you do with it and why?
First of all, I will meet with the directors to see the needs of what's going on, to get the right data, information, and what is the needs that we need, because there's a lot of things that probably we need to improve at this point. I want to make sure that we won't cut any services. We won't cut any of the good services. I want to make sure that that money we utilize in the right way, and that I will put a committee first. I will let them know that trustee right away that we're getting this $1 million, and then we put in a committee with people that knows what they're talking about and how we're going to utilize this $1 million. But everybody in the board of trustees will know that we got this.
At this point in the process, is there anything that would cause you to not accept the appointment?
No,
Should you be chosen?
no.
Thank you.
Lastly, why don't you tell us why you're enthusiastic about wanting to be the township supervisor?
Sure. when I came around in 2000, you guys probably don't know this, but in Peru and South America, we had a dictator government. I was really young, and then they took away one of their houses. They burned out my house, and it was really difficult for us. I told my parents I want to come to America. I want to go to school and be a good professional. It was really difficult. I came to America. I came to Clarkston, and I find the most incredible people that I never could meet. Pastor Lauren Covarrubias from my church where I go, Mount Zion, he basically met me in the street. He invited me over. He helped me out. And so many people for Clarkston were very good and very nice to me. At that time, I didn't speak English. I used to speak Spanish. I couldn't communicate with anybody. People were so good and good to me, and I strongly believe that God brought me here. I came as a stranger. Now I call it home. Now I want to give back my love, my strength, my passion for my community. So I want to be a very good township supervisor for Independence Township. That's my motivation, is my love and my passion for my community.
Very good. That's the end of the questions.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jose.
You could send in the next candidate, please, thank you.